Well, President Trump, his rival Joe Biden, and their running mates are taking a break from politics and remembering those who lost their lives on 9/11 19 years ago. Fox's Caroline Shively has the details.
On this 19th anniversary of 9/11, President Trump honored the passengers and crew of Flight 93.
40 towering patriots rose up, took charge, made their stand, turned the tide, and changed the course of history forever.
Flight 93 crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. It's thought that before the crew and passengers fought them down, the plane's hijackers had been headed to the U.S. Capitol. Congress members and staff honored that sacrifice and the nearly 3,000 people who died in Pennsylvania, New York, and the Pentagon that day with a moment of silence. A few miles away in Virginia, this ceremony remembered those who died when another plane crashed into the Pentagon. Democratic vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris spoke at this event for the Fairfax County Fire and Rescue, one of many teams who rushed to the Pentagon that day.
If we learned anything watching the heroes of 9/11, it's that the strength of the human spirit knows no bounds.
Vice President Mike Pence spoke to survivors and their families in New York by reciting the Bible's 23rd Psalm.
Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life.
Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden attended that same ceremony, where he and Pence shared a COVID-aware elbow bump. Later in the day, Biden visited the Shanksville site as the president did.
This is a country that never gives up.
That elbow bump between Pence and Biden is the closest any of these candidates have gotten to each other in quite a while, in a rare moment on a rare day of unity. Caroline Shively, Fox News.